Welcome to a video that I'm entitling Mr. Pryor's Classroom. I have here a t-shirt on that my last class bought me. It's called Mr. Pryor's Quack Pack. I wanted to talk about some of the things that I've been thinking about this morning. I do a couple of devotions almost daily, and these devotions really spoke to me on things that are happening in the world today with COVID-19. I usually read um, Oswald Chambers' uh, daily. Um, it's not a post. I guess it is a daily post on their Facebook page, but it also comes from his book, Utmost for His Highest. For His Highest, and in this post, it was titled today, here on March 24th, Decreasing for His Purpose. Excuse me. It comes from John 3:30. He must decrease, or he must increase, but I must decrease. Things that are happening, a lot of people are asking, why is there bad in the world? Why is there this COVID-19? How can God allow it? Well, I'm not going to read this whole devotion, but the last paragraph says this of Oswald Chambers' words. Listen intently with your entire being until you hear the bridegroom's voice in the life of another person, and never give any thought to what devastation, difficulties, or sickness it will bring. Just rejoice with godly excitement that his voice has been heard. You may often have to watch Jesus Christ wreck a life before he saves it. And he says to see Matthew 10:34. Another devotion that I look at and listen to and read each day is from an app called Through the Word. And today, a pastor by the name of Sandy Adams was describing Exodus 28 and 29. I thought it was interesting that in Exodus 28, he mentioned that it showed that one of the first gifts that God that talked about one of God's first gifts, and that was the gift of sewing, or being a seamstress, or needlework, I guess is what he called it. And it really made me think about what a lot of people are doing. My granddaughter, some of the kids in high school, some of the adults in town, my sister-in-law, and others are sewing masks for the local hospital. We have received bagfuls of masks that have been sewn on our porch, and Kathy has taken them to the hospital for them to be used in this COVID-19 crisis. We've also had a dentist drop off a bag or box of items that she isn't using right now because her office is closed. Many people are stepping up in this time of need right now. God is really working. I see many people having meetings on what is called Zoom, Zoom, and it's really exciting to watch what people are doing with live feeds, with going on Facebook Live. My daughter-in-law does that. My wife's brother-in-law, Greg Bond, he'll be going on at 9:30 this morning with a topic of prayer. And it's just great to see those things that are happening. Uh, Sometimes we ask, though, why is there bad like this happening, and how can God allow it? I just saw a post from an atheist friend yesterday that said that very thing, that how can God uh, be dwelling or following these sunrises and sunsets and letting COVID-19 happen? Well, I can't answer that, but I have asked questions like that to my son before, and one story he gave me really made me think. You know, why does God let uh, some dictators be leaders in their country and persecute Christians and persecute other people and do just so many evil things. Well, he mentioned to me that I think it was the leader in China, Mao Zedong. I think that in his time period, Mao got upset that people were meeting in groups, not only the Christians, but other people that maybe were against his government. And he decided that he didn't want those meetings of people to get very large. So he issued a law, and I don't know if I'm getting this right or not, but I thought this is what my son told me. He issued this law that said when a group got up to 14 or 15, that group, that was the cap on that group, and you could not have any more in that group or it would be against the law. He did allow you to have those groups, but the cap was 15. Well, I'm sure there were Christians and political leaders and other groups in China that got really upset at that and thought, oh man, we're being persecuted. But you know what happened? God was working in this. God was actually working through Mao. He was not a professed atheist that I know of, but he probably didn't believe in our Creator. But God was actually working through him, and God does work through atheists, and God does work through people that are evil. Of course, we are all evil and fall short to a certain extent. But anyway, Mao issued this edict that your groups couldn't be any larger than 15. So what did the Christian groups do? And they didn't realize what was happening when they started doing this. But when their group reached 15, it branched off into another group. When that group reached 15, it branched off into another group, then another group, and then another group. And then what happened was, and was happening then and continued to happen, is Christianity grew exponentially in China because of this new law or edict that Mao had said or had set about meetings. So God worked through Mao, and God's going to work through you through this crisis, whether you believe in him or not, whether you are evil or not. Somehow God will come out on top in all of this. And I urge all of you to, if while you're getting on Facebook, not just read the news about COVID-19, but listen to some of our pastors and bishops, and not just them, but common people that are getting on and talking about experiences and talking about God and giving us all hope. Thank you for watching, and I hope you're all okay, and I hope and pray you're all okay.